And then I'm going to give a huge shout out to Bianca. Bianca, if you could put your camera on, that would be amazing if you have an ability to do so. There she is. All right, cool. So Bianca called me yesterday, super stoked. And she's like, I'm making phone calls, grinding on the phone. And she's like, just about to like get a little bit frustrated, 47 calls in. She got an appointment. Somebody wants to meet with her, talk about buying a home. She texted me yesterday, says, so I know making an appointment might not be hell of excited for an OG, but man, it's good. It's a good feeling doing that little role play with you last week. Super help. I just keep hearing you in the back of my head. Just want to say thanks. I said, I'm excited no matter how long in the game. So congratulations. So Bianca, you've been grinding, you've been prospecting. So we wanted to congratulate you. And why don't you talk a little bit about that experience for the people that don't know?
Okay, thank you. So it was actually my first time making the phone calls. Honestly, I was kind of lagging and procrastinating, having all these excuses on why I wasn't calling. And then I was calling earlier in the day and I wasn't getting anyone answering. And then I called like later towards like 4 o'clock and I had a guy that answered and then I had like choked up and, and I was like, oh no. And he was nice. I probably could have got him to keep talking. And then that little role play that I did with you last week, it was like in the back of my head. I'm like, I know what I should have said, but I didn't say it, right? I'm like, all right. So I called like another 2-3 numbers and this lady answers and she's like this Hispanic lady. And I was like listening. John had talked to her. I think it was John. And then she like hung up and I could tell she was like Hispanic. She kind of had an accent. So I'm like, hola, hello. Like I try to be relatable, right? And try to throw some Spanish up in there. And then, yeah, she was just about to hang up and I was like, oh, I did the whole, oh, well, if we'd be able to find you the right house for the right price, in the right location, would you still be open to purchasing a house? And she was like, you know what? Yeah, actually. She was like, I lost my job. And then she just starts talking to me and telling me her boyfriend is working and they still want to buy a house. She's trying to tell him and convince him to just put everything under his name. And yeah, she just kept opening up and I had her on speaker and, you guys know my husband works right next to me. So we're cold calling, like we're taking turns. He makes one call, I make another one. And then he's like, he's telling me, he's like, don't hang up without making the appointment. So I asked her if we could schedule the buyer's consultation. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And she's been pretty responsive, actually.
Beautiful. And you guys, it's just like, she's going through it. She had some challenges. Not everyone likes to get on the phone. Who cares, right? Some will, some won't. So what next? And you keep moving forward. But she kept on and then found a way to relate with her and was able to book for the appointment. And what happens sometimes is like, I've heard it before. I've listened to thousands of calls that we have this great dialogue. We have this great call. And then it's just like, all right, cool. Then I'll send you an email. It's like, well, wait a minute, just at least ask for the appointment. Because what's the worst they can say, right? No. So you have a 50-50 chance of getting an appointment. So great job. And it just shows you that you got skill and like to double down on that skill set. Because if you can book an appointment, you can book multiple appointments and that's just how you grow your business. So conversations. So congrats to you and thanks to your coach behind you as well.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so let's do this. So the new video for Bay East just dropped. I want to watch that video with you guys right now. Then I want to have a dialogue around this and how we're going to build urgency, how we're going to talk to sellers, how we're going to talk to buyers, and really how we're going to use this to leverage people to book more appointments. So I'm glad that you talked about this because it helps me transition right into this. So typically, I don't show a lot of videos while we're on our Zoom together, but today this video is super important. So let's go ahead and get right into this. And then I want you guys to take some notes and I want to hear your guys' dialogue. And let me start it at a certain point. All right, so we're gonna start here, you guys. And then, so bear with me, it's a little under 4 minutes.
Let's see what's happening locally, starting with the 880 corridor. Homes for sale. Inventory down almost everywhere, especially in the larger communities. Fremont down almost 30% with 49 homes for sale. Oakland also down with 296 for sale. Prices. The 880 corridor. It's now in the $1 million range. Castro Valley, 1.285, up more than 30% from last October. Newark, 1.38, up 45%. Oakland, 1.2, up more than 25%. Sales mixed. Berkeley, Fremont, and Hayward all up from last October. Oakland down.
Hey, can someone kill their Bluetooth? Because I'm getting an echo. Thank you, Jim.
10%. Next is West Contra Costa County. Homes for sale, mixed. El Cerrito way up with 26 homes for sale. Richmond, 58 down 17%. In San Pablo, 21 for sale, up 24%. Prices up everywhere. El Cerrito, 1.3 million. Hercules tops 900,000, up more than 30%. Richmond, 683. Sales mixed. El Sobrante 19 sold, San Pablo 25, they're both up. Hercules and Richmond both down more than 20%. Let's go to Central Contra Costa County. Homes for sale, Clayton, Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, all down compared with last October. Prices up. Clayton tops 1 million, up 17%. Pleasant Hill also in the 1 million range. Walnut Creek more than 1.4, up 10%. Sales mixed. Clayton, 12 sold, down 40%. Concord and Walnut Creek both down as well. Pleasant Hill, 43 sold, up more than 30%. We're in La Miranda next. Homes for sale down everywhere. Lafayette, 21 on the market, Moraga 3, and Orinda 10. Prices, Lafayette approached 2 million, up 11%. More modest increases in Moraga and Orinda. Sales, fewer homes sold in Lafayette and Moraga. Orinda, 31 sold, up 15%. Now we're in the Tri-Valley. Fewer homes for sale almost everywhere. Dublin, 2 single-family detached homes on the market during October. Pleasanton and San Ramon, 17 and 9 homes for sale, both down more than 60%. Prices, the only community in the East Bay where prices were lower than last October was Alamo. Their median sales price dropped 9% to 2.4 million. Prices everywhere else up more than 20%. Pleasanton and San Ramon both at 1.76. Sales, fewer homes for sale meant fewer homes sold. Alamo and Danville sales down more than 20%. Livermore stands out, 103 homes sold, up 18%. Let's wrap things up in the Delta. Homes for sale, mixed. Antioch, 92 homes on the market, up 35%. Oakley and Pittsburgh up as well. Prices up everywhere. Brentwood, 830 up 22%. Discovery Bay, 893 up more than 30%.
All right, let's pause there, you guys. So I have a couple questions for you. First things first, hopefully your mind's spinning with how you're going to have some dialogue with clients, because there's tons of great information. I want you to go back. I want you to watch that video. I want you to really kind of formulate your dialogue that you're going to have with sellers and buyers. But let me ask a quick question. Let's go over to, let me see, Quan. Quan, if you were to farm a particular neighborhood right now, out of all the places that I just showed you on the video, where is one place you think you could put a really, really great focus on that needs, that you don't have much inventory? Obviously, the inventory is low in a lot of places, but where's a place that you could definitely see yourself being able to capitalize on if you were to farm effectively?
Are you asking with a place that has low inventory? Is that right?
Well, everywhere has low inventory, but
Right.
if you were to look at this, where's a place where you think, wow, I think I could really, really find some great opportunities in this area?
Hmm,
Here, I'll give you a little snapshot.
really good question.
All right, so looking at this report here, if you
Yep.
wanted to do like a farm right now, raise your average sales price, get into an area that you could definitely make some serious money, where would you focus if you were just to choose from these 6 places right here?
I would choose maybe Livermore because, well, let me see. It has the highest inventory. So are we talking about, from a farming standpoint? Okay, so we're talking about listing. So from a listing standpoint, yeah, I mean, what I'm looking at this, I see Livermore because it has it's a net positive versus everything else is net negative, right? And then it has the right now there are 44, so there's a higher inventory. So maybe, that's a very good question.
Good, good. I love it. I'm glad we're thinking. Hector, if you're looking at this, if you're choose one of these 6 cities to possibly launch a farm, a mini farm, a geo farm, which city do you think you'd pick and why?
I'd start with Dublin because there's only 2 on the market, which lead me to believe that there's not that much activity of listings happening. So I would try to, get that number up.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because no one's moving, right? They love living in Dublin. But I want you guys to follow. I mentioned him yesterday, Ivan Santa Cruz. Ivan Santa Cruz has built his business in Dublin. The dude is 23, 24 years old, and the guy will make $400,000 this year. $400,000. Okay. He's new in the business. He's only been in this game for a few years, but he is killing it. You know how he does it? He farms the shit out of Dublin. We're talking, 4th of July flags. He does ice cream social. I mentioned this yesterday in business planning. 350 people came to his ice cream truck. He gave out free ice cream to the community. His stuff is fire. It's baller. But he did that by grassroots in Dublin. All right, so let's continue this conversation. So if you were working with a buyer right now, if you were working with the seller right now, excuse me, and the seller was going to ask you, let me just pull this up so you guys can see. Let's go over to Arlene. Arlene, we have a house for sale, or we have a house that we own in Walnut Creek, and we're thinking about putting it on the market, but we don't know. Our friend said that it's a slow time for the market. I don't know who to listen to. Do you think it's a good time for us to put our home on the market in Walnut Creek?
Actually, I think that it would be a perfect time to put your home on the market. Things may be slowing down, but we still have a plethora of buyers that are looking for homes. And Walnut Creek is one of those few communities in the Bay Area that has a new downtown area. It's all been revitalized. And so if you want to put your home on the market, let's make an appointment and I'll bring some stats and show you some numbers.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Let's go over to Raquel. Raquel, you there? Raquel, are you there?
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool. All right, Raquel, so let's have a conversation about this. So I'm a buyer. I was gonna buy last year in Hercules, and we kind of waited around to see what would happen through pandemic, but we're thinking about just waiting. A friend told us like January, February is a good time to buy in Hercules. So yeah, I think we're just gonna wait to purchase a home in Hercules.
I definitely would not want to wait, especially with the interest rates being so low right now. The longer you wait, interest rates can go up, and you really want to take advantage of that. So I would definitely want to put you on this Real Scout drip campaign and see what we can find for you and start seeing some homes and take advantage of that low interest rate as soon as possible.
So let's have this conversation one more time. I don't want you to use drip campaign, and I don't want you to use interest rates. I want you to use the data that's on this screen right now. Can you see my screen, Terry?
Yeah.
All right, so we're only talking about Hercules. I'll make it really, really easy for you. We were going to buy last year, and we decided to wait, and then we have the money saved up, but a friend said you should probably wait until like after January, maybe even February. So we're probably just going to put our search on hold until next year.
Gotcha. I understand. The data though, right now in Hercules is actually going up. Every year, right now it went up 33% compared to last year. The average rate of the homes were 680 and now they're 901. So it's going to continue to keep going up. So I would definitely try to take advantage of the price that is trending right now before it continues to go up.
Now take this conversation to another level. Take in interest rates too. How would that play even a factor if prices are going up and interest rates are going up? Build more urgency with me. Let me hear it.
So also too, because prices are going up and low interest rates are at its lowest right now, you want to take advantage of that, because when the housing is going to go up, your interest rates are going to go up, and not saving any money, you're spending more money. So you should really take advantage of trying to start building that equity right now and get you a home at a good price.
Okay, good. Love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Absolutely love it. So let's go to, let me get my full screen here. All right, so let's go over to Rebecca's been in this game for a while, and this is her market, so I'm going to hear this. So Rebecca, come on. So Rebecca, we're thinking about moving up to Brentwood, but oh my God, I couldn't pay that for Brentwood or for Antioch. It's just crazy, but that's the only place where we want to live. So we're thinking probably wait until like February or March when prices are going to drop.
Well, I don't, I have an echo in here. Hold on.
Whoever's next to you, have them turn their off their, oh, okay.
Okay, Raquel's in here. There we go. So I don't know, right now, our data shows quite the opposite. Things are not cooling down. We have one of the highest communities with, you should put it on mute. Oh, yeah, your Zoom.
No, you're good, Rebecca.
Sorry. On your screen on the bottom, it should have a little microphone, or you could hit mute on. Yeah,
good,
just
love.
tap it.
There's no echo. On, you're good.
See, now I'm on it.
We're having technical difficulties. I'll go over here. Oh, I lost everyone. Thank you. Okay, sorry, I'm connected to the big monitor. I lost the Zoom. Okay, so the, home sales in our market are not cooling down. I don't know why you, where you're getting your data from, but I would love to get you in a market before things continue to rise. We are just showing an increase month after month, and waiting is just going to decrease your purchasing power. Every home sale just becomes the next new comp, and I'd hate for you to lose out. Could you hear me?
I think Elias lost a connection. Rebecca, I heard you and I loved that when you said every new home sale is the next new comp. That's a great line.
Thanks, Kathy.
Taking that one.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly now, Rebecca. No worries.
Okay, we just lost
Yeah.
Elias.
No, that's okay. He made me the host. So I think that this is a really great conversation. And I'm sorry I don't have my camera on. I'm just getting ready for the day. So how else would you say something like that? Zaira, let's go ahead and go over to you. What would you say as a follow-up to what Rebecca said? Do you have a different way of saying it?
So I would probably, if I'm being honest, I forgot the question that Elias asked, but what was it? Brentwood going up in.
Rebecca, can you repeat the question, Rebecca?
It was about them wanting to, they really want to live in the Brentwood area, but they want to wait until next spring because they are hearing the market's going to cool down. They want to wait for it to cool down.
Okay, so that's a very good question. So I definitely, everyone keeps waiting for the market to crash, and the way we're seeing it, it's not going to crash anytime soon. There's just a lot of people that have purchased homes within the last couple of months, and it doesn't look like it's going to cool off anytime soon. Prices continue to go up in the Brentwood area. So what that means for you is, what that means for you is that you are potentially losing just building equity within these next couple of months. The interest rates might go up, which they're looking like they might be going up within starting 2022. So I just wouldn't wait until the market crashes, because you're losing potential time of building your own equity within your home. And if Brentwood is somewhere where you want to live, I would just try to get into a home as soon as possible.
Yes, I love that. I love that. That was really, really good. Who else can say it in a different way? Ernesto, I love the way that you articulate things. Are you still on here? Can you go? Ernesto going once. Okay, moving on. Let's go over to Jeff. Jeff Phillips, are you on, my man? Brother from another mother.
Okay, Jeff's not on. Let's
Kathy has her
see
hand up,
here.
Mel.
No, I'm on.
Okay.
I'm on. Oh, it's
Oh.
good if somebody wants to go.
Okay,
I'm at
let's
the
go with
gym.
you. Let's go with you, Jeff, and then we'll move over to Kathy Daniel. So what
All right,
is your
perfect.
conversation? Can you talk to us about I know you're in Antioch, right? Antioch market?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So
Shoot.
how I would frame it is, I understand that you want to wait, and I completely understand that. I do want to just give you some statistics though. Have you ever heard of a term called the comps playing catch up?
No, actually I haven't. What does that mean?
Yeah, so it's not a common term that usually people outside of the industry will understand. But that's why us as your area experts like to bestow you with knowledge. So what comps playing catch up means is as the next month comes, more and more houses start to sell. And as those price points start to hit higher and higher, those become the most recent comps. So where if you would have got into a house now in Antioch at 525, waiting 3 months with the new comps playing catch up, you could potentially be up at 550, 575. Now with interest rates being so low, it makes more sense to utilize your low interest rate on a lower price point, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And right now, I just had a listing that was on in Antioch on over by A Street, and we had 35 showings, 10 offers. So we don't see the market quite slowing down, but you do have to be strategic about where you're looking and how you're putting in your offers. And that's why I would love to help you through this journey. So let's go ahead and set up a buyer's consultation for 4 o'clock today. That way we can go over what we need to get you guys in your home.
Man, I'm crying right now.
Man, I'm so proud. That was fucking awesome.
I'm
Appreciate
crying right
y'all.
now. And thanks for stepping in, you guys, because my everything went out for some reason. But I'm crying, Jeff and Melody. Right, fire, absolute fire. So Jeff said something that I love, like this bestowed knowledge upon you. Right, he's sharing with them. Listen, you guys, I just had a real life experience. I had 10 offers on this, or 35 offers on this home. Like, where are all those other people? If they're in your market and only one got accepted, guess where those people are? They're all vying for that same style home that you're looking for. So there's going to be competition. So Jeff, man, that was really, really good. I absolutely love it. I love it. Let's do this, you guys. I wanted to hear from
Oh, hey, Elias.
Yeah.
Sorry, just want to catch you up because I know you got disconnected, but Kathy Daniel actually had her hand up to go next. I don't know if there's time, but
yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's hear from you, Kathy.
okay.
Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but what I would say is, look, if you know, I understand you want to wait, and I understand you think the market's going to crash, but the data shows the market is not going to crash. We're not going to be like we were back in 2008 because we don't have liar loans anymore. We don't have to pass the mirror test to get a loan. You don't have to be breathing to get a loan. Now you have to actually qualify for the loan. You actually have to have skin in the game. We're not going to see a market crash like we had before. And with that, though, we do know that these low interest rates are unsustainable. And we do know that interest rates are going to be rising. So would you be more comfortable paying $750,000 for a house at, say, 3%, or would you be more comfortable paying, I don't know, $600,000 for a house at 7.5%? So let me show you the numbers. I would suggest that you not wait. Let's get the house now. In the long run, it's more about affordability than it is price. And you're going to be gaining equity as you pay down this mortgage when interest rates are rising. Something like that.
Absolutely love this. Love this conversation. So let's do this, you guys. I'm thinking about launching a farm, and I'm thinking about going into Castro Valley. I'm thinking about going into San Lorenzo. I'm thinking about going into, let's say, Newark, which Newark is obviously it's a community that's grown tremendously in the last few years. Do you guys think that's a good strategy? Let's say, is me launching a farm in Castro Valley a good strategy?
No.
Why not?
Because it's always best to farm an area that you live in, because you know that area, you know the ins and outs, you know the schools, you know the local grocery stores and shopping centers, and it's always best to farm an area that you live in. But you know, I could see why you would want to farm Castro Valley. It's up there right now.
Well, no, I'm being facetious. I'm not actually farming. I was just having a conversation as if I like an agent conversation, but
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
based on where you live, I think, right?
Yeah, totally. And so say for Christina Darrow, if she wants to launch a campaign in Castro Valley, do you think that she has a really good opportunity in Castro Valley to launch a successful farm?
Yes,
Why so?
because she lives there and she knows that area really, really, really well. She probably knows it better than me.
Cool.
I don't live there.
Let's talk about the data though. Why would it be a good time for her to farm in Castro Valley?
Because 32% growth is showing that it's a hot market. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's obviously gone up in price significantly and it's a hot area.
Well, I will argue it's already peaking, so there's not that much more growth, whereas the other ones, you have more potential growth.
Okay, I like it. I like it. So where would you pick? Would you pick San Lorenzo? Would you pick San Leandro? Where would you pick if you were looking at just this data here?
Yeah.
Come on.
I would look at something maybe in the mid, maybe like the San Lorenzo, which still has a growth, because San Lorenzo is 13 and San Leandro is 11. They both have low inventory, but they're both highly desirable because of the locale or proximity to the city and et cetera. So I think there's still a growth potential in that regard. I mean, based on the market data we're seeing, that the market, yes, it is still growing, but it is starting to, this is a conversation, internal conversation, but it seems like the market is starting to like simmer, right? It's simmering, not rather than boiling. So like the places where I look at that has more, if something is already growing at 45%, is it going to continue to grow at 45, or, something that's persistent, or is that going to taper or simmer a little bit fast, cool off a little bit faster, whereas the other ones might still have more potential for a little bit more of a leg up.
Yeah. Okay. So like that growth, because you're at 45, you're like, man, is it going to go to 65? Do I have room, or can I go from 11 to 30 and have a higher spread there? So I get that. Cynthia, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I would not look at this data to build out my farm. I want to know what the turnover rate is.
Yeah.
If the turnover rate is less than 6%, I'm not touching that farm. That is just stale. So what I would do is I would reach out to my title company and find out from them, hey, I have, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. I'm trying to build out a new farm. And I would work with my title rep to find out what that is. And in fact, with Fidelity National Title, they have a title toolbox that I can go online and I can myself at 2 a.m. look up and see what my neighborhood farm is turning over.
And I mean, this is a really, really good point, you guys. Like when you're thinking about launching a farm, turnover rates are really important. But I also think that education is important, not only from the buy side, but from a consumer side. There's a lot of people that live in these communities that have no idea how hot the real estate market is right now. There's people that say, oh man, I should have sold in this year, right? I should have sold in that year when right? Because there's going to be a time where it's not always going to be as hot as the seller's market as we're in right now. This business is cyclical, right? Things will change, right? We're riding this wave on sellers market for quite some time now, and pandemic was largely due to that reason why. So there's going to be a time where it's not always a seller's market. The communication with the sellers, did you know? Like, don't miss out on the opportunity to sell your house at a very high price and walk away and net more than you ever thought that you could net on this home. From a buyer, people that are on the fence, what you could do is you could take data just like this. You can go to a lender and say, if I was to take these same prices from last year, based on what they are now, at an interest rate of 2.75 or 3%, what would my payment been last year? Okay, cool. I have that line. Now, with the 20% increase, with interest rates at 3%, still the same interest rate, with that interest or that price increase of 30%, 20%, 10%, whatever it is, what is my payment now, right? If interest rates go up by 1/4 of a point and sales prices only go up 5, 10%, right? Minimal increase, what's going to happen to my payment? That payment's still going up. So let me ask you, Mr. Consumer, have you gotten a 10% raise in the last year? Well, no. So my question to you is it going to hurt you or is it going to help you if you wait, if the rate of your pay is not at the same rate of increase in homes in the Bay Area? Like, this is the type of dialogue we need to have with them. And if you create these visual aids for them, be like, hey guys, I want to share with you. A lot of times people say they want to wait. A lot of times people say they want to wait until the new year. People want to wait till February. People want to wait until spring. I'm going to share some data with you. Like Jeff said, bestow some information upon you to help you understand that waiting is sometimes going to be your worst enemy. I'm sure we have talked to clients. All of us have spoke to clients that said, you know what? I shouldn't have waited. Sold a home in Havens Court for $610,000. Less than 2 years ago, that house is now worth over 800. They barely got their offer accepted because we got them a grant of $17,000. Without that grant, they wouldn't have won that home. Now they're sitting on a tremendous amount of equity, but they got in right at that time. They didn't wait. Roxanne Adams, you had your hand up.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, everybody. I wanted to go back to the farm thing. So I like that conversation because I was just recently thinking of doing a farm and I've never done a farm before. And the reason I want to do Hercules is because I feel like I didn't look at the numbers or how fast it's growing or anything like that. I just feel like I add so much value to my city. By the reason being is I know like all the city ordinances, I know the inspectors, I'm very familiar with who to call to come do the sewer lateral line, Bill's underground, I know Jose down at the city to get the gas valve shut off compliant. Like, I feel like I add so much value to my listing presentation just from my connections and my knowledge here. And that's why I do want to farm Hercules, because my last 2 listing presentations I've done here, I felt the most confident doing my listing presentation in Hercules. So that's just why I choose Hercules, because I feel really good when I'm sitting in the room at that presentation. I'm like, hey, this condo complex is FHA approved, it's VA approved, it's conventional, you're good. I know that there's 6 other FHA approved condo complexes in Hercules. Those will be more likely our competition. Like, I just feel really confident, you know?
I love that. And Roxanne, so we're opening up an office in Hercules, and I'm so stoked that Roxanne's going to have that office in Gurpreet. And within walking distance to our office, there's 1,800 rentals there, right? These are waterfront leases that eventually these people are going to have to buy something. And guess what? Roxanne, the community advocate that's always at that office that's doing wine and cheese nights and social hours and educating the community about purchasing a home, guess where they're going to be coming to?
Yeah, and that's exactly why I want to do Hercules, just because of my confidence here.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Riley, you've been in this game for a while. You've been on the title side. She's studying to get her license. Riley, are you there? Because she told me last time she was waiting for me to call on her, and then I called her in an opportune time. What's up, Riley?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Look at baby Elijah.
Yeah, he said don't put me down, so he's gonna join the meeting.
Hi, buddy.
Say hi. This is my 1-year-old son, guys. He's gonna help me get on my listings when I get licensed.
That's right. That's right. So Riley, just being somebody that's been in this business, when consumers are saying, you know what, we want to wait, we bought this house a few years ago, we want to wait, like what's that conversation, in the market that we're in a sense of building urgency and really talking about this at a high level, like what's that type of conversation you could see yourself having with a buyer or a seller?
Good question. That's something I'm still trying to kind of build, and that I'm seeing, the strategy that you guys are saying as well. But yeah, definitely just building urgency and letting them know it's a good time, and negotiating that, now's the time to buy or sell, and don't wait for things to, possibly even get worse when it's good now or something. But definitely just building urgency, I think. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Did I freeze, guys?
Yeah,
no, Riley, you're good.
Oh, thank you. I was like, uh-oh, did I say something like really off?
No, I think they're doing construction and stuff keeps on going in and out. It's weird. But anyways,
Oh,
I want to ask you a
cool.
question. Since you've been on the title side, when an agent is looking at launching a farm, other than they live there, they know there, they want to just get into that community like Mel
Right.
and Middle of the Creek and Cynthia Martinez and Roxanne for Hercules, what are some key factors that they should be looking for?
Definitely how long the people have lived there. You know, yeah, how long they lived there and like life events as well. I know that it was really huge. I would look at how, you know, if they had any life events, like if someone was divorced, they just had a birth, they just had a death, things like that, that definitely makes somebody, you know, they may want to upsize, downsize, or just move out of the home if someone had passed. Things like that. Seeing if there's a foreclosure, if there's, there's a, I forget the website now, it's been so long, but I would set them up with list of foreclosures, bankruptcies, things like that. So, just really setting them up with as much information in that area as possible to really go at it strong.
Good. I love it. I love it. And Riley, I know you have your voice. Appreciate you hopping on.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, I appreciate you hopping on. I know you got your hands full.
Oh, no. Thank you so much for calling on me, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
So I love it. I love it. So you guys, I want you to really take a look at the weather report and all the other things that you're talking about, and really just dissect this every single month. I love when the weather report comes out because it's new, fresh information to put in our bag. It's new dialogue, it's new conversations, it's a new way to look at the business. If you guys have a lender, then sit down with the lender and be like, hey, I want to formulate a strategy based on some of this data, and I want to do some year-over-year comparisons and say, you want to wait? Well, here's the perils of waiting. I want to share some examples with them. I want to build some urgency, and I also want to educate my community. There might be a little grandma that's been in her home since 1975 and that has no idea, but would love to live next to her grandkids out in Antioch, but has no idea that she's sitting on tremendous amounts of equity. And here we are to educate the community. You guys don't have to do these mass approaches in the farm. You guys could do very, very targeted focus. You guys can see who's been in the homes for 20 years or longer, who has positive equity, who just got divorced, who unfortunately had a death in the family. You guys can really, really dive into these opportunities and say, you know what, how can I serve? How can I help? And how can I help these people move on in the next chapter of their life? There's tons of ways to do this, you guys, but you just have to pick one or two and, start creating that. I tell you what, you guys, we have all these cool templates on Canva. If you work with a lender, sometimes the lender stuff is really busy, just like a title company. Some of the stuff is busy. Get the information, have them break it down, and then we make a cool Canva piece that you guys can put out on social. And then you have a video content based around that data that you provided. Right, but hey guys, I want to share with you, take a look below, and I'm going to provide some slides after this, but I'm going to share with you why people are encouraged not to wait. Here's what we're seeing. Here's what's happened in the last couple of years. So it's just a great opportunity for you, and it keeps you sharp, it keeps you fresh, it keeps you on your toes. Roxanne, you got a question?
No, I just don't know how to put my hand down.
Okay, I love you. I love you.
I'm so sorry.
All right, no worries. So let's do this. Let's go around the room. Let's hear a few key takeaways. Ted Jorgensen. So if you could take yourself off of mute, want to hear from you, brother. What are some key takeaways you heard in the session? And thank you guys for bearing with me because I had some technical difficulties today. Go ahead, Ted, take it away.
Hey, thank you very much, Elias, for letting me join this session today. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, brother.
Great, great. I think one of the key takeaways is perspective. So you asked the question, what is the buyer? What is the seller? How do you approach them and how do you present the data? So perspective on their view of the data, I think is also important. How do they interpret the data? Sometimes they cannot interpret it well. So if you look for that spark of emotion, why is this seller even remotely interested in talking with me about selling their home that they've been in since 1975? If you can understand what's that spark, you can develop that spark and then move them along because they have an interest. They're talking to you, right? The buyer, they have a similar interest, but they have hesitation. Understand what that spark is, and then you can minimize the hesitation. I was going to buy that house last year, but the price has gone up. I want to wait for the crash. I hear that all the time. The biggest motivations for some of these buyers is they want a home. They want to live there for the next 20 years and raise their kids. What happens with a crash does not matter. Can you get into the home now? Can you afford the home now before factors like interest rate change on you, before price goes up again that will prevent you from getting into that home? So if you work on some of those key things with those people, so I understand we all have different approaches to some of these answers. And I think that's the big takeaway from me is from our perspective, how do we approach interpreting some of these things and then presenting it to these sellers and buyers? So I think that's the wealth that I'm getting from this diverse group today is how they approach it.
Man, that was so good, Ted. I absolutely love this insight. And it made me think like, I'll talk with Melody and she's one of our squad leaders and we'll go over numbers. She's like, all right, well, hold on, slow down, right? That's not how my mind computes everything. So it's like taking the data, being able to dissect the data to make sure that it fits the way that you communicate and the way that you're having that dialogue with the consumer. If you don't understand the data and you're trying to convey it in your numbers and you're not really a numbers person, you're trying to talk about percentages and year-over-year growth and this and that and decline and average sales price, you might lose somebody, right? So Ted, I love that. Like being able to take all this information and really formulate it in the way that you want to communicate and connect with the client. So man, really, really great stuff. Appreciate you chiming in on that. Let's go over to Michael Swanson. Michael Swanson, what were some key takeaways from today's time together?
Maybe just to be an expert in your market for sure. When buyers or sellers, when clients are asking those questions, you got to know. You got to know what to say to keep them interested and keep them ready to work with you. So that was one of the biggest things, to never let them get away. Like you're the expert. A lot of people think they know what they know from the news and from their friends, but you're the expert and that's why they're talking to you. So make sure you know your numbers and make sure you know what's going on in the market so you can help people.
Totally. I love it. I love it. Cynthia, let's hear from you, some insight from you and some takeaways from you.
I mean, ditto to everything Ted said. It's so nice to hear what other folks have to say and hear from like the new to the folks that have been doing this for almost 30 years, right? Like, I just love the variety that everyone has. And just the fact that you guys are vulnerable enough to say, yeah, I'll give it a try, even if you're not comfortable with saying it yet. That's why we're here and that's why we are practicing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go over to, let's see, who else do we have on the screen on the second page? Let's go over to Moss. Moss, I haven't heard from you, my brother. I know you've been busy. I love your new business cards, by the way. I think that color scheme is going to be really great. But Moss, what are some key takeaways from you, my brother? All right, cool. We will move on. Oh, there he is.
Hey, well, it's nice to hear everybody's opinions about this. Like to me, just right now, I'm just here to listen and learn everything, right? So pretty much, yeah, I just like all the screen that you share, all the fact that the market prices increase every year, and I can use this these people opinions to apply to myself too.
For sure. Wonderful. Wonderful. Jeff Phillips, you had your hand up, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say something just based on this time and this being my first time. I want to tell like the younger agents, and even I was in the same position, write that contract, go out there, put in offers, because we have so much support here from the older agents, from Karina, to make sure that you have a really, really clean offer. And I used to think like, oh, someone's older than me. Oh, someone has more experience. So they're probably writing like the best contract ever. That's why mine isn't getting accepted. And now that I'm seeing like older agents or just more experienced agents, and I'm just like, wait, is no one looking at your contract? Like, one agent told me to draw up the SIP for him, and I was like, well, I don't know what your clients really want from it. So I can't. Sometimes we can get in our own mind and not go out there and take action because we believe that, somebody else has more experience. And there's this quote that I seen on Instagram that says, give me 1 second. It's right here. There are people less qualified than you doing what you want to do because they decided to believe in themselves, period. Like just believe in yourself, believe in what the team has to offer, the support that we have to offer. And I'm telling you, your offer will look way 10 times better than things that are out there. So that's all I want to say is that don't get in your own way.
Man, love this. Absolutely love that. Great stuff. You guys, you know, tons of stuff to take away from the Wednesday session, but this is all about making your guys' dialogue even more comfortable, making sure that you understand how to look at the data, really how to formulate your words, how to put together this communication. So when you're talking to your clients, like they really see you as a true industry expert. You know, so and I love what you guys all said, and to once again echo what Ted said, like take this information and really deliver it in your own way, in your own fashion. Have some fun with it, but be very, very, you know, particular with how much time you're spending each week learning about the market, right? When you're hearing these third-party stories that Jeff said he had X amount of people come through his listing, keep those things in your log, keep those things in your mind, become a third-party story junkie, because those are things that are going to help you explain the market and what's going on. So you guys, great session today. Once again, thanks for your understanding for my technical difficulties, but thank you for Cynthia and Melody for helping out and stepping up. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Aaliyah, I'm going to go see you for our first round of videos today. Aaliyah's going to be shooting some fire content in Piedmont, the area that she wants to get into and start selling in a big way. So I'm going to go out there and assist today. So let's go out there and crush our day, own your week. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will be seeing all of you guys soon. Peace.